still thinking something is going to happen.
My mother told me, keep this family together.
Serious money is, flowing into San Francisco and stirring things up, especially in the mission. Everyone wants to be in the mission.
The story of the Mission District is a story of belonging. Who belongs in the mission, and who does the mission belong to? As one of San Francisco's oldest neighborhoods, it has weathered waves of change over the centuries. But this wave is moving faster than any of the others. Some worry that their neighborhood will be washed away. This is a glimpse into the changes through one block in the mission. "24th Street, between Shotwell and Folsom." Every day the mission is changing. Block by block, house by house, business by business, family by family. Listen closely and you'll hear their voices. Some old, some new, but all searching for a place to belong. People are drawn here because of the flat streets and sunny weather. It's also a cultural melting pot.
24th Street's like the best walking street in San Francisco. We're close to the freeway, we're close to the BART station. It's a desirable neighborhood.
Since the mid-1960s, the area has been the heart of the city's Latino community, with many residents moving from Central and South America. But it hasn't always been an easy place to live.
Yeah, it was a little bit dangerous.
It was a lot of down and out people, a lot of crime, a lot of derelicts, drug addicts, drunks.
Way different from what it used to be. And it seems that they were doing business better, much better. All the liquor stores are gone, except for one. Can't get rid of that guy.
Despite its rougher edges, there was always a strong sense of community here.
It was one of those communities where, you can ask your neighbors for help. You knew who your neighbors were.
But new forces are reshaping the neighborhood faster than ever. San Francisco's latest tech boom has brought wealthy new residents to the mission, and housing prices and rents have never been higher. In 1990, the median household income in the neighborhood was just above $37,000. Now, it is nearly twice that.
I think the city is in a really critical moment as it tries to understand its identity, and more people are moving here. So how is it going to resolve people coming in and the changes in the neighborhood at the same time as wanting to keep the really livable, bohemian, flexible life that's so connected to San Francisco?
Now it seems like the neighborhood has been changed and it's not scary anymore. We have more confidence now to walk on the street because of the type of people that lives around here and have business. It's very different than before.
I haven't come here with any agenda to drive anyone out or make life difficult for anyone. If anything, I want to empower the local community. Yes, I took a property that somebody else could be living in, perhaps someone local to the area, and yes, perhaps I am prepared to pay slightly more than what was traditionally paid for properties in the Mission. But I'm creating opportunities for lots of people in the local area, not just one or two.
Not all residents see the rapid changes in a positive way.
I used to see on Sunday, for example, on Sunday, grandpa, grandma, their kids, their grandkids, wearing the best clothes in their closet. You get it? Holding hand, going to St. Peter Church. I don't see that no more.
The evictions, the buyouts, the owner move-ins. I think if you're one of the persons who somehow benefits in the end, you're going to agree with what's the changes, because you're still there. And I think if you're not benefiting, well, then you have another story to tell.
Property values are going up. They're really, really high.
From 1990 to 2012, there has been an 11% decrease in the number of Hispanic residents. Erick Arguello grew up near 24th Street. For 2 decades, he has been working to preserve the neighborhood's Latino heritage.
There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of tension in the neighborhood between the old and the new. I've had folks come in from out of town who grew up in the neighborhood who haven't been back in a while, and they're shocked. They're really shocked. They said, where is the Latino community? They're not here. This is a gold mine. You know, people are coming from all over the country, all over the world, coming to San Francisco. You know, it's a gold rush. But for us, this is our little small town.
Don Tasio watches the changes from the front window of the home he's lived in for over 50 years.
Everybody around here was here when I first came here, all gone. Everybody either died or moved out. That was it. Now you got all kinds of people here, mostly from Silicon Valley. They go to work in the morning and you don't see them until nighttime, and then you don't see them again, and that's it for the evening. But they all know me. That's the funniest thing about it is I can walk down the street and somebody say, "Hi, Don, how are you?" And I'm fine. Who's this guy? This house, we bought this back in 57, 58, no, 58, 59, somewhere in there. It's a good building because there's only one owner. I'm the second owner. My wife and I lived here, but she passed away, so that's gone now. It's 6 months now. We raised 6 kids here. 4 girls, 2 boys. I got it for $30,000. Some real estate guy come around one day and wanted to offer me money for it. I think his offer was 1.6 for it. And I said, nope, not selling. He says, I'm just going to stay here. I'm not going anywhere else. This is it. I'm going to do like my grandmother did. She kept the house until she died.
While Tasio is choosing to stay on the block, other longtime residents are leaving.
It was home. It was home for all 10 of us. My mother saw the charm in it. It's a fixer-upper, and my parents knew it. That's why they got it on a good price. It was either $28,000 or $30,000 at that time. Oh gosh, how they struggled. Everything has a memory. All the rooms were bedrooms, except the kitchen. In the living room, there were 2 or 3 bedrooms. In the dining room, 2 or 3 bedrooms here. Porch, there were twin beds there. We used every part of it. And worst of all was the bathroom. Just one bathroom. But we lived through it. Seeing my father with so many illnesses, it was painful because he would tell me, don't leave me no more. Or he would tell me, I'm too afraid to die. It hurts. I just was with him all the way until he sleeps. I said, okay, Dad. My mother, she was in peace that she died in her own home with the whole family. So what we're doing here is we decided to sell the home, and it's very painful. It's going to be divided into all 10 of us. 1912 Victorian home. It's a desirable location. I'm more surprised than anyone. $1.2 million to $1.4 million. That's what, hopefully.
As longtime residents move out of the neighborhood, new, more affluent residents move in.
Silicon Valley, San Francisco, is widely regarded as the mecca of technology anywhere in the world. It is absolutely the hub of all the big deals going down and of a lot of the innovation. So great things happening all over the world, but particularly in San Francisco. I started a mobile technology company out of London. We sold that business just under a year ago to a company headquartered in London, but with a significant office in the US, in San Francisco. And I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to come out here and run a division of it. So of course we looked in Russian Hill and Pack Heights and all that kind of stuff, where a rep would take an out-of-town expat couple to relocate. We had a couple of really practical requests, which were like outside space. We didn't want to be in the fog, and also we needed a decent chunk of parking, which is super practical, and the mission ticked all of those boxes. People might say that you don't fit in here. You're a young English couple, and that's not necessarily like tradition in the mission. The way I see it is everyone's from a slightly different walk of life. It's not anyone like class in society or any one geographic background. There's nothing as constant as change. Us being here and all of this new wave of fresh faces as a huge opportunity actually for the area and to regenerate. There's a fresh waves of money coming in, fresh ways of support. It's not just about more affluent young couples coming to the mission and taking property and spending money in the area, but it's also what they can do outside of the day-to-day trading or business.
Some are not given a choice whether to stay or go. The number of evictions in the mission has doubled since 2009.
I don't want to leave here. First, I'm elderly. Second, I'm not in good health to go about moving. Third, the rent is very expensive. I don't want to go live somewhere else. All my life is here. Since I've come from El Salvador, I haven't gone to any other area.
Something is going to happen, maybe in the last 90 days. Something is going to happen.
In 2013, an investment company bought a 6-unit apartment building on Folsom Street for $1.3 million. Neighbors Manuel Lobos and Isabella Pineda have never met the owners and fear eviction.
I'm comfortable here. Nothing is missing. Everything is good here. If they want to build, how is that going to affect us?
They want to move out, everybody, I know. I'm sure that. For me, it's bad, very bad. I had no job, nothing. Once I worry about the job, others I worry about the have to get out, Not too good for me.
y tengo de vivir aquí 24 años.
On the 15th of October, I will have lived here for 24 years. The rent when I moved here was $420. Now it's $613.35.
No sabemos.
We just don't know. They wanted us to vacate, said they'd give us $5,000 each, but I don't even get to the corner with that.
What can do with the 5,000? Nothing. I paid the first month and the entry and the deposit, and then the last month, the 5,000 is gone. And then I have to go sleep under the freeway. Yeah, I don't know.
Tengo miedo.
I'm scared because there are a lot of very ugly places. And where would I go? I don't want to leave.
No. No quiero.
While the threat of eviction haunts some, others are starting anew. Adobe Books was forced to leave their longtime location in a trendier part of the Mission due to rent increases. They reopened on 24th Street.
We were the gentrifiers. In the end, we ended up looking like the victims of the gentrification. Well, it used to be on 16th Street between Guerrero and Valencia. Oh, we had to move because the landlord wanted to get more money. The neighborhood had gotten very fashionable, popular, rich, I don't know. The landlord wanted us out, he was going to jack up the rent. And this group of people got together, about a dozen people, said, no, we're not going to let the store stop. We're going to save it. We're going to continue it. I now work with about 12 people who are my brothers and sisters in cooperativism, and we share the burdens of this store. Bookstores don't do well. Most of them close.
And while Adobe moved to 24th Street out of necessity, other business owners are attracted to the neighborhood's vibe.
People ask, why a Jewish deli in the Mission? And it's like, listen, I'm Jewish. I mean, we got that phone call. Do you remember the phone call we got when we first opened? Are you crazy? A Jewish deli in Mexico town? It's like, I want to laugh that person off the phone. When we first moved in here, there were bars on the windows. First thing we did was take them off. Yeah, because I would rather be open and welcoming and have to deal with the repercussions of that than be closed off or board up our windows every night. That's not how I want to be. That's not how I perceive our business or our existence in this neighborhood.
But some businesses have felt the strain to fit in. In many other neighborhoods, Yaron Milgram would have been lauded for his farm-to-table restaurants. But in the Mission, one of his establishments became a target. In 2013, a Latina resident claimed she and her family were denied service at Locals Corner because of her race. As a result, Milgram's businesses were vandalized 8 times over a period of 2 months.
It's frustrating that we ended up, I think, being the target of a much larger issue, but I also think that more than my frustration about that is that it also doesn't lead to a real conversation about what to do. 25% of our staff is Latino. Every single day, Latinos come into our restaurants. We're in a Latino neighborhood. We have Latinos at every level of our staff. When you're making a claim that we're systemically discriminating against an entire class of people, like, I can't participate in a conversation that's so outlandish. I hate seeing businesses close. Right? I know how hard those business owners have worked every single day to keep the doors open. Neighborhood changing or not neighborhood changing, it's hard to make it in this city in the long run. I think that there's like a really common feeling along 24th Street is like really hoping the places that are here survive and continue to maintain each other and support each other. Yeah.
2 months after this interview, Milgram closed Locals Corner because of slow business. He acknowledged the controversy played a part in his decision. As new money flows into San Francisco, its oldest neighborhood struggles to preserve its identity. Many longtime residents can't afford to stay, and some wonder what the neighborhood will become without them.
There's a lot of good folks, hardworking folks, you know, from the neighborhood, you know, like me, who wants to see the neighborhood, you know, stay intact and improve at the same time.
I mean, there's no stopping change. We live here, we shop here, it's our neighborhood. It's our duty to make sure that we're on the positive side of change.
And actually I see it as a massive opportunity, just like any growth area in the world, any kind of emerging territory, but this is just in a micro region. So my thing is, if I'm prepared to pay more for a coffee in the morning, then you should charge more for your coffee.
I'm looking forward to new memories. Just close the book.
The Mosquedas sold their home to another family. Now 3 people will live where 19 once did. The newcomers say change is inevitable, block by block, house by house, business by business, family by family.